Type of practice you wanted?
You know, I guess we did a lot of reviewing between last night and this morning, and there's some things that we brought out to our hockey club and we showed in video session, and we had a long conversation about how we had to play and things that need to be corrected. And we think it's pretty simple, but we have to live it now.
I was just going to say, was the conversation give and take, or was it more you're breaking down the film and telling them what you see?
When you review video, it's one of the things what's happening out there, and in the situation that you provide your players. We tried to show that, you know, there's some things that are unacceptable in what we were doing, and there's some things that when we do them well, the examples are there also. So it's not all negative about what you provide, because you can't just continually bring a negative message about your game when we've done some of the things that have been staples and it's kind of gone from us, and that's what we're searching for to get it back. It's not panic, it's reality. And you know we can play to a higher level than we've played in the last, I would say, 9 periods of hockey, and we've just got to get back to that, and they understand. We just hopefully that the message that we delivered is this is how we do it.
What are some of the problem areas you identified?
Well, the first thing is if you look where the goals have been scored, they've been scored from the critical area. So we've got to defend that area more diligently, but again, I think it's the turnovers that are causing us having to play in our zone too much. We're not creating any offensive zone time to allow us to play in the opposition's zone, and then we're receiving. And a lot of teams play the same way, and you know we're no different. We have a template that's very close to the teams that we play against, and everybody pushes their D-men down the wall. They want to keep the opposition in their zone as much as possible, and we're no different, but we haven't done a very good job in the neutral ice getting through what other teams have provided as far as a set defense, if it's a trap or if it's a 1-3-1, whatever system they put in place in the neutral ice.
How would Carl look out there?
He looked fine. You know, he's like, I thought he looked very good today, and hopefully it's a positive that he's available to us tomorrow.
Do you remind the group at all of the way that you were able to dig yourself out of the 5 skid in March, the way that you were able to?
What we try to do is we're trying to deliver the message that this isn't a panic situation. This is a situation that it's easily correctable if we do some things that we've done before. Really, that's really what we're asking. We're not asking them to step out and do something they're not capable of doing or they haven't done for this hockey club before. And that is really as neat and tidy as I can explain it for you.
When Gunnarsson's healthy, what does he bring?
He's you know, in our top groupings a defenseman, and he's brought you know, consistency, you know, and I think he's been a big part of our defense as far as puck moving. He plays the second unit on the power play. He plays logs huge minutes with Phaneuf, you know, so it's hard to replace those guys. But again, when other players you know, get hurt or miss time for various reasons, you want other people to step up, and you know we haven't had anybody really step and clarify a position that Gunnar has taken.
Are those turnovers emblematic of guys maybe trying to force the issue and do it themselves?
The turnovers are obviously that you can classify them as a couple of things. There always is that element of playing as an individual and trying to do too much. There's another element of maybe the play was there for an offensive player to try that in that situation. And the other one is what the coaches call brain dead. So there's 3 categories. I don't know where you want to put them. There's ample supply of each.
Is Gunnarsson's injury something he's been playing with all year, or is this a new thing? Or?
He had it coming out of training camp, and so it's an ongoing process that has been nagging at him for the better part of the season. But there are some things that we've changed as far as his treatment and whatnot, and it seems to have recovered to a point where he looks like he's 100% out there, and he's going to have to tell us when he can go.
Just on the drill at that end, was one of the what you do when you win the defensive zone draw and what you do when you win the offensive zone draw?
Yeah, what we're trying to do is just replace, you know, game situations off face-offs, both in the defensive zone and the offensive zone, and then go to 5-on-5 defensive zone coverage.
Okay, thank you.
The room's open. Randy,
All right?
you've talked about how you guys like to measure chances as opposed to shots. The last few games aside, have the chances been pretty equal in the way you measure them, or?
The one game was, and I can't remember which one. It was surprisingly enough, I think it was the Washington game. It was 13. I think we had 13. They had 16, which was close, a lot closer than we would have ever anticipated coming out of the game. But not the other ones, not the New Jersey and the game last night.
But even throughout this season, like generally,
we're very close, very close. You know, depending on power plays. Like last night was that we take 4 straight penalties, give up a 5-on-3. The scoring chances are going to get ramped up, and we did an excellent job killing the 5-on-3, and we thought we'd get energy from that. And that's normally what happens, but we didn't last night.